Badagada.
That's the only acting thing. Badagada.
Badagada. Gada.
I'm very scared.
Brrrrum.
Is this a cult?
At the turn of the century, they were making some movies, but we kind of forgot all their names. So we started a podcast, and we know you did not ask. Too bad for you, my early 2000s.
Hello and welcome back to My Early 2000s. I'm your host, Will.
And I'm your other host, Daniel.
And this is the show where we take a look at the loved and lost movies of the early 2000s.
That is our show.
But first, let's get into some business. How are you, Daniel?
I'm doing really well.
Yeah, it's getting close to Christmas.
It is. It's coming up. It's upon us.
It's finally starting to feel like Christmas, too.
It kind of is.
Just the last, couple of days.
Yeah, I agree. Although our tree has lost its most of its smell by now.
I haven't smelled it in over a week.
I don't know what to do about it.
Do you think we should just get one of those the car tree smelly things and just put it on our tree?
Just put it on our tree? Yeah.
5 of those?
Let's get 5 of them.
Like in that creepy scene in 7?
Yeah.
Because
We're just going to do a very 7 Christmas this year.
my favorite.
Every time I open a present.
What's in the box?
So for those of you that generally listen on a Tuesday, that's when our episodes normally come out.
Bonus. This one's coming early.
Yeah. This is like a Christmas present that came before Christmas.
Christmas came early, but it's us.
Welcome to the new year.
And just like every week, we like to dive in with a little beer.
So
What are we drinking this week?
This week, we are drinking Fireside Chat by...
It's a terrible fucking beer name.
Well, it's about the president.
No, it's adorable, but just Fireside Chat.
Let's try
Let's
it.
see how stupid
Yeah.
this thing tastes.
It's
that
a
FDR?
winter ale. Yeah, it's FDR. He did the Fireside Chats. That's why it's called that.
I understand now. I still think it's dumb.
Okay.
Let's drink it. Oh, yeah, this one's in a can again.
It is in a can. It's okay.
There's a 21st Amendment brewery?
Is there a 21st Amendment? I don't think there's 47. I'm pretty sure.
But the
there's
fact that we don't
20.
know for sure says something.
There could be 47.
It says with spices. Spices added?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a very wintry, winter spiced ale.
Oh, is that what you got it? Christmassy beer?
Yeah,
It's
man.
not
I was trying to just... I thought Fireside Chat, you and me, we're going to be talking by the fire right now. So that's just where my mind's at.
No,
just,
I got you.
You know.
Oh, no, look at there's Christmas ornaments on the beer can and everything. There's a little elf sitting next to him by the fire.
Oh, look at this. I will
This
say
is straight up a Christmas
the
beer.
beer is not my favorite, but the can is probably my favorite can.
Well, speaking of Christmas, we've got a Christmas movie for you today.
Do we?
Kind of.
It's Christmassy.
Everyone seems to think so.
Kind of. Yeah, it's not a movie that you would put in it's not about Christmas, but everything that happens is about Christmas.
What movie are we talking about?
Love Actually.
Yeah.
A rom-com of the early 2000s.
It's a rom-com. That's...
I would say that. I don't know.
Because I got to tell you, I've never, you know this, but I've never seen this film before. I've obviously seen bits and pieces. There's very famous scenes that come around on the internet every year, but I've never seen it from top to end.
Okay.
And I kind of thought, just from everyone's adoring love for it, how many families talk about it, how much my mom and my sister watch this every year together, I kind of thought it was a family film. And I've only seen bits and pieces on television, so I really haven't seen this movie. It's rated R. Everyone's naked, but it's also whimsical and fun like a family movie. It's so confusing tonally.
It's one of those movies that, because you only watch it at Christmas time, generally, you might go hey, Mom, Dad, let's watch this movie. And then you realize 10 minutes in, shit. Fuck,
Yeah, have you watched this movie with your parents
no,
before?
Actually, I think I have.
I'm thinking about my mom and sister watching it together, and it's oh no.
It would be a little awkward. I think we have watched it together because I love this movie, but I forget that it is it's R-rated. It's got some stuff in it.
Is this one of your go-tos every year?
Yeah, I love watching this every year. It's just one of those ones that makes me feel happy. It's like this one and The Grinch and The Santa Claus are kind of my 3. What about you? Do you have go-tos?
I definitely have go-tos. It's a Wonderful Life is always my favorite Christmas Eve. I think it just reminds me what being a good person is again. I don't know. It definitely makes me cry every year. Not a lot of Christmas movies do that for me.
Yeah.
So I did want to come into this one with an open mind because I don't have a lot of Christmas movies that are mine. This one is also not mine, but I watched it and I understand the appeal 100%.
Great. And
what about you? How do you feel about this? Other than just you love it, I need to hear, why do you love this movie?
If I were to watch it today, For the first time, I would have like a very similar reaction to you.
Okay.
Like I would be like, oh, that was really nice. It made me feel good. All of the good things, but it wouldn't be in my top whatever choices. But when I did watch it, I was just like far more wide-eyed and hopeful and romantic.
When you first watched it back then. Because this movie came out in 2003.
Yes, I didn't watch it until maybe 2010.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it took you a
so
while.
it took me. I've only seen it for like 7 years.
It's almost hard to remember a time without this movie being out for me. Like, it's just everyone talks about it.
It's just one of those movies. I remember when I watched it, the people who I watched it with were like so upset at me for never having seen it. And I was like, I just haven't seen it. I don't know.
You were a little bit that way with me though when I told you I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, but it's been 7 more years.
Yeah,
since then. But this movie just has these moments that remind me of hope and remind me of love and like remind me of all these romantic things that were the reasons I love the movie in the first place. And it has brilliance in its own way. This one is so smart how it's all interconnected, how we move from place to place, and everyone kind of knows everyone.
The cast is really charming.
And speaking of the cast, it's a huge cast, and they're incredible. We've got like Oscar winners, all kinds of people. We have Liam Neeson, Emma
Snape's
Thompson.
here, man.
I know. Alan Rickman's in it.
Colin Firth.
Hugh Grant, Keira Knightley.
Hugh Grant's so good in this movie.
He's wonderful, yeah.
I kind of didn't understand the charm of Hugh Grant until this movie.
Really?
100%.
Yeah.
I normally don't like it. Like what he's doing, it doesn't work for me. But in this movie, it fucking worked.
It really does. I like him in that powerful position, but like kind of like realizing he shouldn't be, or he's just he feels like a normal person, even though he's the prime minister. Right. Anyway, it's directed and written by Richard Curtis. If you don't know him, he directed About Time and Pirate Radio and a few other things, and he's written a ton, including Four Weddings and a Funeral.
That's so funny. I didn't do my research on this, but like the opening of this film, I'm like, oh, this is Four Weddings and a Funeral, the Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Because my dad loved that movie when I was a kid, so I saw that movie a shit ton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also did like Bridget Jones, Notting Hill. He's kind of like a king of romantic comedies.
Yeah.
The ones he's done since are the ones he's directed, which are About Time and Pirate Radio.
Oh, I remember Pirate Radio. It was called something else at first. And then I don't know.
Did they change
it?
It's Philip Seymour Hoffman, right?
Yeah, it's really good, but it died because they changed the name. Like, the boat that saved rock and roll I think it was called that at first.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and he did About Time, too, which actually I really liked back when it came out.
So a lot of characters, a lot of people, a lot of hands going on, and this is a film that's got a lot. There's so many storylines, and it was almost a smart idea to cast such recognizable people to help keep us. Like, I've only seen this film once. It was a few days ago, and I can almost barely remember what happens because so much it goes so fast.
It does. There's a ton of different storylines.
But having really recognizable, charming, great people to help you along, it's not even a big story. It's just like a lot of shit is happening.
Yeah.
It's almost like a vignette of people's lives.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a vignette of people's lives who are all at like crossroads of love in some way, shape, or form.
The only thing that I just didn't love about it, I know, the opening of the film is so beautiful. I've seen that scene before where it's all those people hugging
at the airport.
Yeah. And they're kind of like giving 9/11 vibes and what it really means to love and have somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the film does give us a lot of hope and happiness and love, but it kind of, for the most part, only explores romantic love. For the most part.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think there's enough diversity of different kinds of love in the film to really... It kind of becomes more employers falling in love with their employees.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think that
there's a lot of different stories to all go through. And how do you want to do this? Should we go like subplot by subplot or just kind of like generalize the film?
It's interesting that you say that. You're kind of really making me think right now.
And I know that you watched it when you were at a younger age and the world was different, but I kind of got this very small window of love. They kind of throw us around and thinking Rick from The Walking Dead is maybe a homosexual and has feelings for his best friend and the strangeness of what that's like. And then it's quickly just like, no, it's not that at all. He's just in love with the girl.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot of just very normal
love stories.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's probably due to the times.
Boy meets girl, they fall in love. You also deal a little bit with divorce or cheating, that kind of thing.
Sure.
And you also deal with there's one relationship that is platonic, and that's with Bill Nye and his manager, the rock star and his manager.
But see, I don't see it that way.
No?
I actually see them as I feel like that's the only interesting relationship to me because it's not romantic.
Yeah.
But it almost is.
Mm.
I don't know if that's implied or not. There's this understanding and compassion and love for each other, but they don't do that.
That makes sense. Watching it today, the first time,
I don't know if that's right. That's just my impression.
The first time I ever thought maybe it is a gay thing. Maybe they are into each other. That was the first time.
I found it to be a complex idea.
I never
really
thought that before. I always thought it was totally platonic. Today was the first time I was like, well, maybe, I don't know.
Right.
He does leave this party, but I also just thought this is the guy, he's the famous rock star and he's got this one person who's always there for him.
The movie opens with Bill Nye, not the science guy.
The English one.
Bill Nye.
Yep.
He's kind of rehashing a song of his. It's very...
Feel it in my fingers.
Oh, you love this song, don't you? No, keep going.
I feel it in my toes. In my toes. Christmas is all...
It's a great opening. It's so wonderful to watch. And it says so much about the pop culture today. Still the bullshit, stupid music we come out with. As far as I'm concerned, Christmas music hasn't been good since Mariah Carey. For this movie.
Right. It's kind of the last classic.
It's the last Christmas song because after that, everyone just kind of riffs over good Christmas music.
Although I'm just going to, go away from 1 second.
Do it.
This new Sia song, that Christmas song.
I haven't heard it.
It's pretty fire. I don't know.
Okay.
I like it a lot. Every time it's on the radio in my car.
You say fire.
I don't know. It just makes me want to dance and move. Who knows? This is not a classic, but it's good for this year.
So music, big influence in this movie, and you really feel the datiness of it.
Yes.
But that's kind of what gives it its charm as well.
It feels of that time, but it also kind of feels like the hope of that time. Now, if we were to do this movie...
It's right after 9/11, and they say that right up at the top.
Yes.
You know, we're feeling the impact of 9/11.
It is a feel-good movie. I feel like if we were to do that today, there'd be so much more negative positives, sarcasm, things like that don't... They're just we kind of make fun of hope a little bit more today than we did back then.
We open on a wedding and a funeral at the exact same time, and the wedding is really...
What's so weird is I play that wedding all the time now. That people ask for that song at their wedding constantly because of this movie.
Oh, really?
For the end.
The All You Need Is Love?
Yeah.
But isn't it like a prank? It's not even the bride and groom's choice.
It's not.
Rick from Walking Dead's doing it for fun with his little creepy camcorder.
Yeah, he's really he's super creepy.
Did you ever at any point watch that character and go, "Oh, that's adorable"?
No.
Really?
Well,
okay.
Actually, yes.
Because I've seen the pictures.
People. Today was the first time when I was like, "This is messed up." Your best friend. You're confronting your best friend's girl.
I mean, it is nice that he's not doing anything about it. He's saying, "Hey, I love you, but I also respect you and my best friend, so I'm not going to do anything about it. But by the way, I'm going to love you forever."
Yeah,
so in some ways he's being a good guy, but in others he's just being a fucking creep.
I would kind of argue that if you love your best friend's girl, you shut up about it forever.
Yeah.
And if you can't shut up, you kill yourself. That's it.
The Daniel Wargo story.
Yeah, that was really absurd to me.
But that's a fun scene, we kind of get to know those characters up front. And everyone busts out their musical instruments for the All You Need Is Love moment.
Yep.
They never saw everyone in the church has a musical
There's
instrument.
a trombone that comes out of a pew. It's bro.
Where were you hiding that?
We knew it was here.
I was reading online, actually, that was a nod to Jim Henson's funeral. I guess at his funeral, his favorite thing to do was sing. So during the funeral, everyone busted out musical instruments, and they had Kermit and all these characters come out and sing that song. A nod to it in
that song?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Whoa. But I will say that moment really, at the beginning of the film, makes you go, we're on for a ride. This is going to be rom-com goodness. And really that's what they do, is in this whole movie, they take the best moments of rom-coms, and then they just do 100 of them. They just do that moment. It's like meat.
So you never get fatigued by it? Because 3 or 4 of the stories seem kind of similar to me.
Yeah, there are. But there are I don't get fatigued by it because we have enough of them to go around.
Yeah.
And the ones that are the big ones are super interesting to me, like the obviously the Alan Rickman story and Emma Thompson, the Prime
Colin
Minister
Firth story for
the
me.
Colin Firth story is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you've got these little vignettes, like the two extras at the movie who are doing lighting and having all kinds of crazy
It's the
sex
longest lighting for a porn I've ever fucking seen.
scenes. But it's such
Some
a
high-end British porn, man.
it's just such like a great little idea.
I know, it's
And-
super funny. What an awkward
Yeah.
relationship and situation to be in all the time.
Yep. Yeah. And then that play on the British guy who wants to go to America because he thinks he can get girls. Like that's
Right.
and it's kind of so true and so funny that he just walks in and all his wishes are granted.
Yeah.
And then some.
But see, that's the thing is it feels a little bit like the wishes are granted for the men and then they don't even do anything about it. The women are actually like doing the work. Like Hugh Grant's his employee, she sends him a note after he like looks her up and down for like 4 or 5 scenes.
Yeah.
We know you're interested, bud. Why did she have to
Yeah.
make the first move?
And the biggest person who has to overcome in the whole movie is Emma Thompson.
Yeah.
God, she's so good. She's so brilliant. Even in like this fluff movie, she brings such warmth to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Colin Firth story the most just because they did have that language barrier.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have a little bit more fun with the physical comedy, with what they could learn about each other in the silences. And I know that goes with what I enjoy in film more. Rom-coms can get a little talky for me.
Sure. I
So
get that.
it was kind of nice to have that break and to see people thinking, and not knowing what to say.
And just having these real moments of like a human moment
That's the
that
thing
comes
is his
without
story
words.
feels real to me.
Yeah.
I guess the Liam Neeson son one kind of does too. There's a lot of circumstantial stuff there, but
Yes.
if you had to pick a favorite of the storylines,
It's the Hugh Grant one.
Yeah.
It's the most enjoyable for me to watch. I care about them
I hate
probably
that
the
everyone
most.
keeps calling her fat in the movie.
I know.
What the fuck is that? Like,
I feel like in Britain they find they're more apt to be like your teeth look yellow.
Yeah.
Like they're more apt to just say
They're
something that out
about
here we
everything.
would be like not ever say anything at all.
Yeah.
Why do you think that this movie is a Christmas classic?
I actually do not know.
You don't
in
know.
no way, shape, or form do I understand why it's a Christmas. I understand why it could have been 10 years ago, but the comedy in it, the circumstances of power seem very dated to me, even more so than like some of the classic movies that I watch from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
I think it's just part of the membrane and a feel-good movie for everybody.
Yeah.
Because they did love it, and so they want to always love it, maybe.
Mhm.
You said yourself, you watched it this time and saw new things that kind of made you go, oh, that's not very nice.
Yeah, totally.
But you still love the movie. I know
do
you
love the
do.
movie.
Like, you opened up and you were like, it's feel-good, it's hope, it's all these things. But it's more and more aware that it's like hope for a smaller demographic of people than everybody.
yeah, and I think that I personally happen to fit that demographic.
Exactly, yeah.
So it does reach out to me. However, I could understand why a person would not enjoy
Yeah.
that movie at all.
I just wish that there were more choices of love in this movie.
Yeah,
more
I
things to
agree.
explore. Because there's so much that means between somebody before you love them. And there's so many levels of love. It hits a lot of fun tropes.
Uh-huh.
I think it is very engaging to watch because so much stuff happens. If you hate one storyline, there's probably a storyline for you. So that's probably what it is. It's a good movie to put on for everybody because somebody's going to like at least a little part of it.
And if nothing else, I mean the actors are charming. So many of them are really great, and some of them, a lot of them, at least for us Americans, are just new faces.
At the time, were they?
I don't know specifically, but I know that like there's people who I love in that movie and I haven't seen again. Like Natalie, I love her in that movie. I haven't seen her again. I'm sure she's working. I'm sure she's done stuff.
Right.
But I haven't seen it. Same with I think his name's Colin, the British one who comes to America.
Right.
Love that guy. I don't think I've seen him. But, you know.
And if you don't like that, the music at the end's pretty great too. The performance, the school performance is kind of
yeah,
great.
It's awesome.
That little girl has such a great voice.
She's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great performance. I love when she points to the kid on the drummer like, and I love you.
Yeah.
And then
You,
you. And he's like,
and you.
wait, what? What? I know that moment where like you think a girl's like saying, oh, I actually am into you. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
He wasn't that.
Yeah.
It is weird at the end when she just like knows his name. But that's fine.
And
They're kids. It's cute. And it's just
it's-
trying to wrap up The overall feeling.
Yep. Yeah, moving it to that next space.
I'm just saying I noticed it.
Well, good. Way to pay
and
attention.
It's kind of weird post 9/11 being like, we're just gonna run through the airport and it's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of true. But since the whole thing kind of takes place through the airport, I mean, not through the airport, but
like, what plane is Hugh
beginning and the
Grant
end.
taking at the end? Does he not fly private?
I don't know.
He's just coming in
He
commercial
does
like that?
say to the president of the United States, "We really love your plane." I'm not sure
Okay.
if they actually
Billy
have a
Bob
plane.
Thornton as the president of the United States is incredible.
A really skinny Billy Bob too. Like he looks very polished and skinny.
I don't know. I loved seeing him in this.
Oh, I did,
I didn't know
too.
he was going to be there. And
Yeah.
for what the world thought America kind of was at the time, it's kind of perfect.
You know, let's get into some questions.
As always, what is your favorite moment? We may actually have already touched on this. Not favorite storyline. I want to know the moment you love the most. And it better not be the fucking
I don't
one.
know what you're gonna say.
God damn it.
I have a second one if it's the same one.
No, just say it.
Okay.
What's your favorite moment?
Ooh, what do we call it, Chubby? I love that line. It is the best part of the whole movie. When,
Okay, it's not the same.
when Hugh Grant's like, ooh, what do we call it, Chubby?
My favorite moment was the dancing scene.
Oh,
After,
you
after
love
he
that.
tells off the president.
Yes.
Oh my God. It was just like, he's the worst dancer. And it's just so, like, you just get wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
And when his housekeeper catches him, oh my God.
When I was watching it this year, I was like, I understand why people really hate white people. I understand why they hate them generally, but this is like
Exactly.
proof of why people really hate white people. If you need to go like, why do you hate white people so much? Play that scene. End of discussion.
America.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, how'd you feel about the soundtrack? It's a big part of this
It is.
movie.
I feel like Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You is in there at least 3 or 4 times before you even get it in the finale.
Yeah.
So luckily I've seen that performance. Like, that's the only part of the movie I've really seen before I watched the whole thing. And I'm glad I saw it first because it's such a great performance.
Yeah.
But I was a little fucking annoyed by that song by the time we get to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a couple other Christmas songs here and there, but it feels so poppy and dated. I don't remember a score in there.
Oh, I do. I really like the score.
I don't remember it. I'm sorry.
It really happens like it happens throughout. There's like a motif that's recurring.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm just like not catching it.
Yeah. It's pretty, and to me, I don't know if it's good or I don't know if I like it. It's something that when I hear every year, it tugs at that chord inside me that I'm like, I'm watching Love
So it's
Actually.
memorable for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that score, just so we have it, is written by Craig Armstrong, who did Moulin Rouge, Great Gatsby, Snowden, bunch of stuff. But I also love the pop music in it. You know, I love All You Need Is Love.
Dude, that Kelly Clarkson
That Kelly
song in
Clarkson
the credits.
song- yeah.
I just don't know
Trouble
that
with
song
Love
very
is-
well, and she's fucking wailing
She
on it.
wails, yeah.
I forgot she could sing like that.
Yeah, man.
It's been a minute.
That was her first album.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
That's why I don't
back
know
in
it.
the day. They play right at the end. They play my favorite song, I think, of all time, which is like my favorite love song too, which is the Beach Boys' "God Only Knows."
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, like right at the end, and you're
Yeah.
just like, nice job.
It is a
guys."
great song.
Yeah, it's a great song, and it comes in at the perfect time.
Like, do you think the movie wouldn't be as good if it didn't have all this great music to help lift it?
It is certainly a huge
Like, that's adding to the
part of
fun.
it. It totally is. It really does. And you know, and like things are iconic because of it. Like I said, you know, couples are still asking for All You Need Is Love at their wedding because of the way that song is in that movie. Not that it's not a great song without the movie.
No, but they
But
think of that moment and they want that
They
moment
want
for
that moment.
themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. So, all right. Well, who?
And love can actually happen.
William has gone hopeful. I don't know what to do with him.
That's a joke you can tell your mom.
I also love that I know I'm going off track a little bit, but I love at the top just the way Hugh Grant's voiceover at the very beginning goes. If you're careful enough, and he goes, "Love actually is all around." The way he says it, it's just like you can't not hear that.
I know, motherfucker.
Yeah, beautiful line.
Who does the Oscar go to, Daniel?
Easy answer, Emma Thompson.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful. The way she is at the after the school pageant.
Yeah.
And she confronts Alan Rickman, and she's like, "You made a fool out of me too."
Yeah.
And she starts kind of crying,
Yeah.
and then her kids come,
Yeah.
and she picks it up, and she has to like put it away and be there for them. And that moment to me,
I feel like I don't get enough resolve on that story though. Like I don't really know if they get a divorce in the end or if they're still together. Like I understand the destruction he brought onto his family and the sadness of that, but what happens? What do they do?
I don't know.
Isn't that important?
She's a good woman, and I think she cares more about her kids at the moment. And I think you see that when he comes back when they're at the airport, the next scene.
Yeah, they do. She kisses him on the cheek or something like that, and that's what made me confused.
Yeah, it is confusing, and I don't know what happens with them. I think they'll get divorced, or it was 2003, so they're probably divorced already. If they were real people.
Not real people, Daniel. These are characters.
I understand, but if we're just living in that world.
Movies aren't real.
But I think they stayed together a little while after.
Okay.
That's my guess. Wait, who would you give the Oscar to?
I think I'm going to give it to Colin Firth just because I know I've talked him up already, but I've only seen him in such commanding roles other than the King's Speech, I guess. Like he's usually just such a presence on screen. And in this, he's just so vulnerable and sad and but he's hopeful too. Like he really is all of those things, but he's like embarrassed that he is all of those things.
Yep.
There's just so much subtlety on subtlety. I really love his performance. He gets way less to do, but somehow it steals the show for me.
I totally get that. And I think one of the last moments is actually the completion of his storyline. Yeah. So I was just the most interested in that storyline. It's a great story.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I love it too. Look forward to your Oscars, guys. All right.
This is something new.
Yeah.
We've been asking, is The Rock in it? But it turns out most people didn't want to put The Rock into a movie until 2009, and now he's in every fucking thing.
Yeah.
So we thought, because of that, we're going to be just as smart and recast The Rock into every film we watch. So, Daniel, if The Rock had to be part of this story, which vignette would you put him in?
Yeah, let's get juicy. I would probably put him, I don't know how this would work, but as Colin Firth's brother.
Okay.
So the one who, instead of that guy, but I want a lot more between them.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're brothers. They have to still be brothers.
Uh-huh.
And he had sex with his wife. So... Or his sister-in-law, really.
Yeah, it becomes a lot more fratty.
Yeah.
Like, with The Rock in there.
With The Rock. I don't
know. Come on, bro.
He's like, she's hot, bro.
She's hot. Let's do it. The Rock's better than that. I don't know
why be like, you're going to forgive me. You're going to forgive me. And then he'd be like, he would just be so charming. You're going to forgive me? Yeah.
I forgive you.
But I want that scene.
Yeah. No, that's fun.
Anyway, what about you? Where would you put him?
I want to cast him as the kid. I want to see him and Liam. I want to see Liam Neeson teach The Rock to be what it is to be a man. So badly. And just like The Rock on a tiny drum set in the school performance. Really quickly, that actually reminds me of something though. Why is their favorite film to watch together Titanic?
I know.
Why is their happy film after his mom has died and he's just going through so much shit? Let's watch a movie about everyone dying on a boat. It's cute.
That's a good point.
Liam Neeson's a bad father. Unless he's not taking movies.
He's not the real father.
That's right. He's stepfather.
He's the stepfather.
Yeah.
Which makes him just a good person. And that's why it's always like it kind of is cool how they have a little friendship in that movie.
No, it's totally cool the way that they bond.
We're going to be having sex in every room, including yours.
But at the same time, doesn't Liam Neeson at one point say like, there's nothing harder than heartbreak or nothing harder than love?
Mm-hmm.
But like 2 weeks earlier, his wife died. The mother of this kid. Like,
yeah, there's some.
They don't care about that dead wife.
No,
man.
Yeah, they. Other than the one time he cries.
No, but he's not crying about his mom. He's crying about because he has a crush on the girl.
No, Liam Neeson cries.
Oh,
with Emma Thompson in the kitchen that one time.
Why doesn't the son cry about his mom?
I mean, he's a kid, so he's probably not processing it fully. Plus, they also make a claim that in the funeral, they say they've known for a while that she was going to die. So
I must have missed that.
Yeah, because she plans that funeral.
Yeah, because he's on like a phone call, and she's like, "I'm sorry, your wife died, but I have to get off the phone to come to your funeral."
Exactly. Yeah. So I think they knew. I think it was a long time coming kind of thing.
So in conclusion, The Rock playing drums. Liam Neeson's son.
I'm ready for that
movie. I kind of want to just see Liam Neeson be a father to The Rock. Can we get that movie?
Actually,
as a Christmas movie?
Maybe.
Who do we ask?
I mean, Disney owns everything now, so Disney. I think we got to go to Disney.
Disney, The Rock, Liam Neeson, Christmas.
Father, son, Christmas movie.
They save Christmas with music.
Like Taken at Christmas.
With music.
With a musical?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Obviously.
At least pop songs.
And The Rock plays drums. Okay, which character would survive longest in a zombie apocalypse?
I think the kid, just because he's so scrappy, like, I don't know how he was able to get past every level of security
Yeah, in
in
2003.
the airport.
Right.
In 2003.
Right.
I mean, you could argue it's the UK and not America.
Could also
and
argue it was just in the script that
it'll
way.
always be in the script that way, and he'll survive.
That's just maybe his truth.
What about you?
I feel like I'm picking the obvious one, but Liam Neeson. Like, I've seen Taken.
So you're only picking him from other movies, not because of this film.
Not because of this film. I just know what he can do.
I know what you can do, man. You're a Jedi.
Yeah.
You fucking got guns.
I don't want to be on his bad side. I've learned.
I understand.
Yeah. Liam
Yeah.
Neeson can destroy zombies. All right. Well, what was your favorite My Early 2000s moment?
I don't know if it's a favorite, but the thing that really stood out to me was that camcorder that
Oh, yeah.
that Rick is
Andrew
using
Lincoln, yeah.
to creepily film Keira Knightley very close. I don't know what he's getting out of that. I don't know what she's getting out of it. It's a very strange relationship to capture something that most people are going to pull out their cell phones for now.
I know what you mean. I didn't think about that. There was a few things to me that really kind of like, threw me back in that time. But I think I'm going back and forth. I think the one I'm going to talk about is the president, the U.S. president.
Okay.
I think that was kind of a very specific statement that the writer was making.
But it almost fits today now, too.
It actually probably fits better today than it did then.
Yeah.
But I think just having that, like, America pushes people around mentality, we're going to stand up to America, because probably that's what the writer wanted England to do. I don't know. Like, he was probably like, wouldn't it be funny if the prime minister actually stood up to America?
Yeah.
And so they got to do something that they actually wanted to do. But in that time, especially with George Bush and at 2003, by then, well, if they were writing it 2001, 2002, he wasn't well liked.
Yeah.
He wasn't like brutally hated yet, maybe, but he was not well liked. And so that, and then the other one is the show that Bill Nye's character's on is like it's like that MTV show,
Right, yeah,
TRL
yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
And there's boy bands, and it's just very that
And
scene.
a lot of the dialogue, too.
Yeah.
A lot of the jokes, like, you just can't talk like that anymore. Just people don't. I don't know. It does feel like, out of all the movies we've watched so far, this one feels the most
my
early
early
2000s.
2000s.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
love that you called it the title of the show and not just like a 2000s.
It's my early
movie.
2000s movie. If I say it enough times.
All right. Well, as we do every week, how many beers are you going to give this movie out of 6? Out of a 6-pack?
I think I'm going to give it 5. I love it. That's
Yeah.
why. I don't think it's a life-changing movie, but I love it. I watch it every year. I watch it more than so many other movies I love. So 5 or 6, 5.5.
Wow.
Yeah,
5.5.
5.5. Never
You
given
gave
a half
Star
beer.
Wars none, and you're giving this movie 5.5
Star Wars 2,
beers.
episode 2. Okay, it's not like I gave episode 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That I hated episode 2. What about you?
I think I'm going to give it 3 beers just because I did enjoy it. It really doesn't lend itself to people that are new viewers, I don't think.
Okay,
I think you really did have to watch it in that time
back then, yeah.
to really fall in love with it. But I do see the appeal. It is fun. There are some fun moments, and I can see myself watching it again. You know,
Okay.
like, it's a Christmas movie. And
Yeah.
if I find myself bored at Christmas and it's on,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna watch it.
Well, that's great. Anyway, it's great. No, I do, because honestly, I thought you might hate it.
I wanted to go in with an open mind. I think
Yeah.
there are a lot of things about it I hate, a lot of choices
Yeah.
I hate, but that's so petty and not the point of the film that I don't want to do something that it's not trying to do.
Yeah, that makes sense. And
To overly analyze this film is to do a disservice to what it's trying to do for everyone else.
I couldn't agree more.
So I can nitpick it all day, or I can take the message it's trying to portray and apply that to my own life.
Absolutely.
So Merry Goddamn Christmas.
Well, you said it here first.
And that's my early 2000s for this week.
That's what we've got for you. If I just blinked. Yeah.
Before we go,
Yeah.
we shot something pretty fun for the holidays. I don't know if we want to speak to this, but
Yeah, we shot a little video that you can kind of have on the background for your Christmas parties. Christmas music and a nice tree and some
I
fun
would watch
things.
the entirety of it to really make sure you see everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what's in there, but
Yeah.
Something.
So how can they find
We'll
that?
be making a post on our Instagram for you guys to check it out if you want to have it at your next holiday party or anything like that. As always, you can add us on Instagram, Twitter, at SplashZoneMedia. We're on all the socials if you want to come and find us.
And please, if you get a chance, leave a comment or a rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever
Thank you
you
to
get
everyone
the
that
podcast.
subscribed so far. It really means a lot.
Thanks for listening. And this week, have a great Christmas if you celebrate. If not, just have a great week.
Have a great holiday in general.
And
see your family.
Great New Year.
Tell them you love them.
Yeah.
Because love actually
is all around.
Boom. There it is.
You
Thank
heard
you,
it here
Daniel.
first. Well, I think I'm going to have another beer.
Well, you shouldn't.
Why?
You're going to get chubby.
Ooh, what do we call it, chubby?
Love!